You think you're losing to the market, but you're losing to the part of yourself you're too afraid to face.
This video is for informational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Always do your own research.
This is CoinPicker, Foley, where global markets meet clear, powerful insights.
Welcome back, everyone. You're watching CoinPicker, String, your daily source for gold, markets, and breaking financial news.
Every trader thinks the market is out to break them, but the truth is far more painful. You were already broken before you pressed the first button.
You never lost because of the market. You lost because you never understood the enemy living inside you.
Your fear, your impulses, your rush to act, these controlled every trade long before the candlestick moved.
The market didn't trick you. Your mind did. Your emotions lied to you, and you trusted them blindly.
Every time you entered a trade with hesitation, you already lost. Every time you chased a move out of greed, the loss started before entry. You keep changing strategies, indicators, time frames, but the same thing keeps happening. Why? Because you haven't changed. You don't need a new system. You need a new mind. A mind that doesn't panic, doesn't rush, doesn't get hijacked by emotion. The truth is painful, but it sets you free. You're not losing to the market. You're losing to the version of yourself you refuse to confront.
The fear of missing out, the fear of losing, the fear of being wrong. These fears are the chains holding you down, and every time you trade emotionally, the market doesn't punish you. You punish yourself. You exit early not because the chart threatened you, but because your emotions did. You hold losing trades not because the market trapped you, but because hope controlled you more than logic. You wanted the market to fix your mistake. But markets don't heal traders. Traders heal themselves. You kept telling yourself, this time will be different. But nothing changes until you change the person pressing the buttons. This is the part no one tells you. You were never fighting the chart. You were fighting your own reflection. And the moment you accept this truth, trading finally becomes clear. Painful, but clear. Because now you know the truth. You don't need to fix the market. You need to fix the mind watching it.
Most traders search for better strategies, but never for a better version of themselves. You sharpen the chart, but you ignore the mind holding the knife.
Every indicator makes you feel safe. Every confluence gives you hope. But none of them can save you from your own emotional shortcuts.
Your fear doesn't wait for confirmation. It reacts before logic has a chance to speak, and you listen to it every time.
You think you're obeying the chart, but you're obeying your impulses. You exit fast, not because the market turned, but because your heartbeat did. And every impulsive exit teaches your brain the same destructive lesson. Fear wins. This is why you never grow. You keep feeding the emotion that destroys you, while starving the logic that could save you. You tell yourself, I'll be disciplined tomorrow. But discipline isn't found tomorrow. It's built in the moment you refuse to repeat your oldest mistake. Consistency doesn't come from winning. It comes from managing the monster inside you when everything in your body tells you to panic.
Every trader knows the feeling. Your plan says wait, but your emotions scream now. And you follow the scream, not the plan.
This is why traders blow accounts on days they promised themselves they wouldn't. The enemy isn't volatility, it's internal chaos. You don't fear losing money. You fear being wrong. You fear admitting you don't have control. You fear confronting who you really are. Because if you admit you're the problem, you admit you're the one who has to change. And change is terrifying. But here's the shift. The moment you stop running from yourself, trading stops being chaos and becomes clarity.
Your mind becomes calmer. Your decisions become slower. And the market finally stops feeling like a battlefield.
Because you finally understand. The market wasn't attacking you. It was revealing the parts of you that you kept buried. And now that everything is exposed, you can finally start rebuilding. Not your strategy, not your setup.
This is the moment most traders never reach, but you reached it. And this changes everything.
It doesn't begin when you learn something new. It begins when you finally admit what has been destroying you all along.
Your biggest losses weren't caused by the market. They were caused by the emotions you refused to control, the ones you let lead the way.
Fear lead your entries. Greed extended your losses. Hope blinded your exits. And ego destroyed your account. You kept defending your decisions when you should have questioned them. You kept protecting your ego instead of protecting your capital. You told yourself, the market will turn, but you never turned your behavior. And that was the real disaster. Most traders fear losing money. But the truth is, the real fear is losing the person you believe you are. Because when you admit your flaws, your illusions die. And most traders would rather lose money than lose their illusions. But the moment your illusions die, your growth finally begins. Because truth hurts, but it heals. You've lost money, but you haven't lost your chance. You've lost battles, but the war inside you is still winnable.
Because the moment you confront your fear, your decisions finally slow down. They become intentional instead of emotional. You start seeing the market not as a threat, but as a mirror reflecting your internal state. When your mind calms, the chart calms.
And when your emotions stop attacking you, you finally trade the market, not your fears. This is the shift professionals talk about.
You stop chasing. You stop forcing. You stop reacting. You begin to respond with calm precision instead of panic.
This is the moment trading becomes art. Not chaos. Not fear.
You begin to understand why professionals look calm, while retail traders look exhausted. Professionals mastered themselves.
Mastering the market is impossible. Mastering yourself is achievable. And it gives you the edge no indicator ever will. And this, right here, is the moment you stop being a trader who chases the market and become you one who finally understands it.
Growth demands sacrifice.
Not money, ego. Not time, comfort. And not strategy, your old identity. You cannot become a disciplined trader while protecting the version of you that caused every loss. Something must break. And when that old identity cracks, it hurts. But the pain is necessary. Pain is the signal that transformation has begun. Most traders run from this moment. They run back to comfort, back to habits, back to the same emotional traps. But you're still standing here, facing the storm. That alone separates you from the 90% who quit long before the breakthrough. Because there is a moment in every trader's journey when the noise stops and clarity takes over. You begin to see entries not as impulses, but as opportunities measured with patience.
You start respecting your stop loss because you finally respect yourself enough to follow your own rules.
For the first time, you trade without trying to predict. You trade without fear. You trade with presence. This is the awakening professionals talk about. When your emotions stop shouting and finally start whispering, you no longer chase the market. The market comes to you because your patience has finally replaced your panic. The old you would never believe this moment was possible. But the old you traded with fear. Now you trade with awareness. You traded with impulse. Now you trade with intent. You used to beg the market to be kind. Now the market respects you because you finally respect your own discipline.
You stopped looking for certainty and embraced probability. This single shift elevates you above the 90% who lose. You are no longer controlled by your emotions. You are no longer controlled by fear. You are no longer your old self.
From this moment on, you stop losing to yourself. And that changes everything.
Stay ahead of the market. Subscribe now and follow CoinPicker for the latest insights.